Good morning. Please let the house come to order. Please stand this morning as we are led in prayer. The gentleman from Smith, Representative Tullis, will introduce our guest minister for the day who will pray for us, and then please remain standing afterwards for our Pledge of Allegiance. Gentleman from Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce a great friend of mine, Brother Ronald Van Wilben, or Brother Van as we call him. He's a pillar of his community. He's been a preacher at the Open Bible Tabernacle Church for 40 years, and he's joined today by his wife, Diane, of 44 years, and his daughter, Marcia, who works for the Secretary of Treasurer's office. Brother Van's been a friend of mine for many, many years, a friend of my family's, and we think so much of him. So would you welcome him to our Capitol today, Brother Van?
Good morning, everybody. We thank God for blessing us to be here. And we know if there's ever been a time that our nation needs prayer, it's now. But I will say this, if we're going to pray, let's trust what we pray to God that he will perform. Amen. Heavenly Father, our Lord and our Savior, the great architect of this universe, the maker, the giver, and the sustainer of all life. It is again that a few of your humble children has come together to bow ourselves before you, Lord, in our hearts. Though our knees may not be bent, Lord, our hearts are bent toward you. And if ever been a time we need you as our Savior and our leader and our comforter, it is now. We thank you, Lord, for our government and all of our leaders. Lord, from the president to the White House all the way down to the outhouse, we thank you. We thank you for America. We thank you for being citizens of a wonderful state. Mississippi, Lord, we thank you for Mississippi and the representatives that you have here, making decisions on our lives every day. Be with them, Father. Guide them and direct them as you have in the past. And we just pray right now that you will bless not only their decision, but bless their families, their households, and bless their rest. That when they have made a decision, they can rest properly, knowing they did their best. And we just ask you to bless today all of us as we continue to travel, whether it's by walking or transportation. Be with us and guide us. Take care of us in all aspects. In Jesus' name. And the church said, amen. Amen. Thank y'all. Y'all got some church folks in here.
Just a few. Join me in the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, thank you. You heard that, hoorah. Yeah. We'll spread out across here. Mark, you go. Y'all step up between me and Mark. She's going to take it right over. Okay.
Get cool, young man. Yeah, she'll make sure I do. How's that?
Yeah, that's great.
Very good. Thank you all again for being here. Welcome anytime. Thank you. Good to meet you. Thank you, man. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Close the machine, Madam Clerk.
There's a quorum present, Mr. Speaker.
We will have the reading of the journal. The gentleman from Rankin, Representative Powell, moves we dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Report of select committees.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Report of standing committees.
We have reports on the calendar, Mr. Speaker.
Introduction of bills and constitutional amendments. Gentleman from Marion, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading of the introductions.
Is there objection to this? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, we will follow that procedure. Resolutions, petitions, memorials, and other papers.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
At this time, please give head page Layla Knights our attention. She's going to introduce our pages for the week. Pages, when she calls your name, please raise your hand so we can put a face with a name. You're recognized, lady, to introduce our pages.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This week we have John Tavis Alston from Jackson, Aria Jones from Clinton, William Reed from Gaucher, Jackson Gladney from Clinton, Gray Logan from Gulfport, Eli Roberson from Starkville, Harrison Hallberg from Starkville, Samuel Eifling from Starkville, Talia Jordan from Jackson, Katoria Johnson from Canton, and Ava Corba from Brandon.
Thank you, pages. Introduction of guests and visitors. Gentleman from Rankin, Chairman of Rules. I believe we have some special guests, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, in the South Gallery, along with Representative McMillan, we have a resolution commending and congratulating the Madison Central High School boys soccer team. We have head coach Seth Mail, and we are congratulating them on winning their second consecutive MHSAA Class 7A boys soccer team. I believe they're ranked 4th in the country. So let's all give them a big round of applause.
Congratulations, young men, on an outstanding season and program. You've represented your school and your family, community, and homes very well, and you're to be commended for it. Coaches, thank you for what you do, for bringing your guys here. It's an honor for us to celebrate all your accomplishments with you. Welcome to your capital, and thank you all again for being here. We have another special guest, but we are waiting on their arrival, so we will move on into other announcements. Introductions by the members. Lady from Hines, Ms. Foster.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If you all would turn your attention to the North Gallery, I have two of my great constituents sitting. I would like for them to stand. The City of Raymond Mayor Randall Harris, and my other constituent, Brenda Davis, the curator here at the Capitol, who all of you all know. Give them a hand.
We're glad you're here, gentlemen, but we're really glad Miss Brenda's here. Gentleman from Wayne, Mr. Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the North Gallery, I've got a good friend of mine, Miss Carolina Heathcock. She is Miss Mississippi State and made the trip all the way to...
Lady. Congratulations. It's good to have you here. It's a high honor to represent the university. Lady from DeSoto, Miss Remack.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just happened to look up in the North Gallery this morning and see a friend of mine from Rankin County, Miss Leslie Davis. Please make her feel welcome in our chamber.
Welcome, lady. She always seems to wear red around this place. I've got a welcome on the back row in the North Gallery, somebody near and dear to my heart. I may be outing her with this because she lives over across the street at MDE, but one of my older sisters is up there on the top row, Michelle Nowell. If y'all would, please welcome her. And yes, she still tries to tell me what to do. And I'm sure that goes over great at MDE. All right, I don't see any further announcements. We will go to the calendar. In conference appropriation, general bills. Passes. Ways and means. Passes. In conference, general bills. Item 1, state affairs. He passes. Jade? Gentleman from Choctaw.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I have before you conference report, House Bill 1224.
You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain a report.
Thank you. Earlier in the session, we had a couple of versions of this bill, and I had a reverse repealer in it as we worked it through the process. Gentleman from Mock Tibhall also passed a social media education piece that went over to the Senate and died. So the final conference report that we have for you right here is a combination of two things. One, it requires the Mississippi Department of Education to develop a social media safety curriculum for schools for grades 6 through 12 regarding social media and cyberbullying and predatory behavior. They're also going to allow the parents the opportunity to opt out of those curriculum if they want to. We're also going to require MDE to publish an internet safety publication on its website and allow other agencies to do that as well. We're also creating something that allows our Attorney General to go after social media companies that fail to warn regarding the addictive features of social media and the negative effects that it has on individuals. We're also going to allow, and this is covered in section 1179.5 around line 290, basically falsely representing that a covered entity is not addictive to minor users when in fact the design is defective or making it addictive to minors, falsely representing that the computer service is safe for minor users when in fact evidence-based data establishes harmful for minor users, failing to disclose to users the harmful effects of minors for using the computer interactive service, or falsely representing the accuracy and efficiency of the covered device in the efforts to prevent minor users from doing that. Also failing to warn the parents or legal guardians of the harmful effect of minors of using these devices, including any failure to warn of the frequency, scope, and severity of such harms. We're going to allow the Attorney General to seek an action with regard against these social media companies that violate this section. Half of the fees are going to be going to the Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. The other half is going to be used to fund the educational program. Be a fine up to $10,000 on each instance of a violation. We give that discretion to the Attorney General to make a filing or proceed an action against them. If you have a repeated, willful, purposeful, repeated failure by a company to do this, then we'll allow the parent to bring a private cause of action. And that is an explanation of the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Questions on the report? Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. Hullum.
Thank you.
Hey, gentlemen, were we able to get the human trafficking in there?
Well, I believe it's going to be broad enough for it to cover human trafficking, because that will be some type of warning that MDE is going to do. Hopefully we can get this program up and getting done, and I think it covers both things for our minors. One, we have an educational piece that will be available for our minors and their parents. And two, we're going to hold some of these companies responsible for failing to provide warnings and notices to our minor users' parents.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. General, you.
Certainly.
I'm all about protecting the children, but you mentioned something about a disclosure that the parents will have to.
They're going to have to, these companies will have to make disclosures and could be liable if they have failure to warn about these effects that are listed in section
So the parent has to sign a
It's basically, yes, it has to have a warning to the minors or the parents.
Okay, so how do you know that the parent is actually filling that form out?
Well, gentlemen, that has been a debate across many subjects of whether or not. I believe we live in the year 2026.
We are in the year
I believe there is
2026.
technology available for these companies to implement if they would choose to do this, but they have not taken the opportunity to do anything like this. However, we're giving them an opportunity, and there is an opportunity for them to make some required disclosures to protect our children and giving our parents that option.
So let me give you an example. So I want to get on social media and I fill out this form that we all do. Say we're looking for a bottle of liquor that is not sold in the state of Mississippi. And they ask you, are you 21 years or older? And you put in a birth date. And I put in a fictitious date. I still get on the site.
You know, that is an issue that we do have moving forward with some of these companies, that there is technology out there that can verify the age. It's a third-party identifying stage.
So basically what you're saying is that this act can be violated in any time, in any circumstance, with regard to fraudulent information.
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm trying to say is this act's going to try to provide a mechanism to protect the children in the state of Mississippi. What I'm trying to say is we're going to try to provide parents in the state of Mississippi an opportunity to have some protections. What I'm saying with this bill is we're fixing to provide schools and MDE to provide some education for these children. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it a perfect bill? We hardly ever have perfect bills out there.
Nothing in this building is perfect, gentlemen.
And I appreciate your question. But the intent of the legislation is to protect our children and give our parents an opportunity to have a say in what has happened.
I'm with you 100%. We are supposed to protect our children.
Give me just a second to finish my question. I want to finish it.
Okay.
It is time, and it is beyond time, that we take affirmative steps to protect our children. I've had people come up to me, and you've had it in your district as well. These children and these parents don't have lobbyists. They have us. That's what we're here to do, is to try to find a mechanism to protect our children. And, you know, they've been given an opportunity time and time again to implement safety procedures for our children, but it hasn't happened. And so this is our opportunity to try to take a step in that right direction. And I hope you would be with me, gentlemen.
And I'm going to ask you this, couple of questions, a couple of more. So have you heard from the entities that provide online services?
There are several carved-out exemptions for them. We carved out fee service. We carved out search engines like Google and other things of that nature. They're carved out. Broadband providers are carved out. Anything that you pay a fee with is carved out. Text messages is carved out. Phone calls are carved out. There's a whole list of exemptions that are in there. So to try to narrow the scope.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
I see no further questions, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote of 95 yeas, 17 nays, the conference report is adopted. You have further work, gentlemen?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, if I may, could I move down to item number 11, Senate Bill 2747.
Gentleman's requesting to advance to item 11, another Judd A item on the calendar. Is there objection to that? All right. State Affairs, item 3. Gentleman from Jackson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move to adopt the conference report, item number 3, House Bill 1330.
Yes, sir. You're recognized to explain the report.
Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, this conference report, similar to the license plate bill, is the annual qualified resort bill that we have. We have included everybody's request. Everybody is in there. We did have one little obstacle or bump in the road in Lamar County, but through mutual respect and discussion between the parties, we were able to resolve it. And that's my explanation, Mr. Speaker.
Questions on the report? I see none, gentlemen.
Move to adopt the conference
He moves
report.
adoption. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 112 yeas, 2 nays, the report is adopted. Education. The gentleman from Octibaha, he's still with us. You're recognized, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm alive and well.
Your bride's in the back, that's why.
She hadn't gotten here yet, I don't think, Mr. Speaker.
She's in the back, gentlemen.
Oh, Lord, yes, she is.
Gentlemen,
Mr. Speaker.
Thought you were a lawyer.
Well, that ain't gonna do me no good with her. Mr. Speaker.
Where are we going, gentlemen?
Mr. Speaker, we go to number 4, House Bill 1395, and adopt the conference report.
All right, you're recognized to explain the report.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the bill that basically allows us to sell school property, and we were giving first option to our charter schools, but the law really wasn't kind of fair to either side, and we needed a way for us to actually get this building sold. This limits this to 1 year. We had 30 days, I believe, or 90 days, something like that. And in the conference report, what has changed is it's giving them a year to take the charter school, to either take the school and buy the school, or to allow them to go ahead and sell it. So that's the difference. That's my explanation. Now I'll answer any questions.
Questions on the report? I see none, gentlemen.
Move to adopt the report.
He moves adoption. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 120 yeas, 0 nays, the report is adopted. Gentleman from Jones, Mr. Scoggin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction out of order.
Yes, sir.
If y'all will join me in welcoming in the North Side Gallery, we have Miss Belle Brooks. She is Jones County's Miss Hospitality, and she is here today. She is a senior at South Jones High School in Ellisville. She's also a Mississippi scholar, and as her platform, she wants to promote tourism in the state of Mississippi. Welcome her.
Welcome, lady. Miss Haney from Gulfport. Good to have you here, young lady. Thank you. You're recognized, gentlemen, for further work.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could go to item number 5, Senate Bill 2103, and adopt the conference report.
You are recognized to explain that report.
Mr. Speaker, I need unanimous consent to... Could we adopt the report, Mr. Speaker? I have a unanimous consent item that needs to be plugged in.
You want to explain your request regarding unanimous consent?
I'm sorry. Let me explain. 2103 is our bill that's for our pay bill. This is for our teachers, our assistant teachers, our officers, our attendance officers. As you know, when we started this process out, we started with a $5,000 increase. And unfortunately, the Medicaid budget came in and some other things came in. And this body voted for a $5,000 pay increase. And I want to be very clear that there's nobody in here that wants to reduce that, but the bottom line is that you've got to balance your budget. We had to reduce this down to $2,000. That's not something I wanted to do. It's something we had to do to be able to get ourselves through this process. But one of the things that I want y'all to keep in mind is that we didn't just do a teacher pay increase, we did an assistant teacher pay increase. You know how many times since assistant teachers have gotten a pay increase? None. Zero, you're right. We've got a $5,000 increase for our officers out there. Now we've plugged in some things that allow them to have 4,000. They're going to have 4,000 students that they're over basically to do this, but they're getting a $5,000 increase. You know how many pay raises they've gotten over the years? None. I'd like to answer a couple of questions I saw on social media. I had one of the ladies make the statement that, what about the lunchroom lady? We don't handle the lunchroom lady's business as far as their pay increases. The local school district does. I saw another social media post that said $5,000 wasn't enough, and she sure as heck ain't going to be happy about the two. Protest it. Don't take it. I'm sure that lunchroom lady would love to have your $2,000. We have attempted to give our teachers pay raises over the years. When you roll out here and you meet another state employee, the guy that works on the side of the road for the state, ask him how many pay raises he's gotten. You know what the answer is? None. We are trying our best to do what we can. There's not a person in this room that doesn't love teachers more than me. And I'll do everything that I can in the future to continue getting them pay raises. But I want to be clear, we have other employees and other responsibilities in this state that deserve to be looked at. You know it, I know it. Now, I'm going to fight very hard for our teachers in the future. Don't doubt that. But I'm not going to apologize for an increase. Not whenever we have so many others that didn't get one. We also have a pay increase for our special ed teachers. They're getting $4,000. They're getting the regular $2,000. They're getting a supplement for $2,000. I had someone ask, why are we doing that? There are very few special ed teachers in this state. We need more. If you don't believe me, go to your school and find out how many they have. The question that will lead to the fact that you either have zero there or you have one. And they're dealing with 20 and 30 kids sometimes, and these aren't kids that are easy to deal with. These are special kids. They deserve special people. We want to bring as many of these teachers in as we can, and this is part of that. They deserve the amount of money that we're trying to give them. They deserve more. Look, y'all, good teachers, good special ed teachers, good people out there deserve way more than we're paying them. We do have our priorities upside down. We pay football players and musicians millions of dollars. We pay the people that take care of our kids peanuts. That's a reality. I didn't make the rules. We just got to live within them sometimes. I want you to know that we're going to continue looking at these things in the future. We're going to continue making efforts to do the things that we need to do to make our teachers better and to bring more people into this field. But again, I'm not going to apologize for an increase. Not going to do it. Mr. Speaker, that explains this bill. I'll be willing to answer any questions.
Questions of the gentleman on the report? I see none, gentlemen.
Move adoption.
You want to explain those consent?
Yes, sir.
Unanimous consent request?
I need unanimous consent to amend on line 1204 by striking August and inserting November. This is moving a date for some reports reporting reports to be turned in, and it shouldn't have been in August. It should have been in November to start with. And the other item is on line 122 by striking June and inserting in lieu of thereof August. And it's the same reporting, making that correction there for the dates to work right. That's my explanation.
All right. Does anyone object to those unanimous consent request changes? Hearing none, we'll follow that procedure. The gentleman has moved final passage of the report. Open machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay.
Go ahead.
Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 121 yeas, 0 nays, the report is adopted. Next item, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we go to item 6, Senate Bill number 2294.
You're recognized to explain that report, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, out of everything we've done this session, I think this bill is probably one of the most important things that we'll be doing for our school districts. 2294 is where we put our math and our reading coaches and extended this period up to the 8th grade on the reading and put math coaches in here to help our kids. Honest to goodness, out of the time that I've been here, the reading gate, as we've called it in the past, has been one of the most important things. I do believe that this is something that's going to help our kids, our teachers, our children be able to do the reading and the math issues that they have out there and give our teachers the support they need. MD will be running this program and we'll be funding this to try to push it forward, but this is one of I think the cornerstones of what's going to make us do really well in the future. Our public schools deserve this help, and this is a program that you're going to look back on in a few years and say, this was a pivotal moment. So not much has changed. We've done some different wording here and there that y'all have already voted on this a couple of times, but there's a little bit of wording change, but nothing of substance that's going to matter. There is no, I know there was some concerns about there being a problem with if the child was not doing well, that they were going to get held back in the 8th grade, and y'all, that doesn't work. They're not being held back as long as they will be getting remedial help. But if you hold a child back in the 8th grade, you're probably going to lose that child. That's a kid that's probably going to quit school or take the GED, which there's nothing wrong with taking the GED, but I want our kids in school. And I think MD agrees with that position. We also have a civics part of this and a financial literacy part of this. These are all things that we've all talked about and agreed on that we're asking MD to be over. That's my explanation of this, Mr. Speaker, and I'll answer any questions if there are any.
Questions on the report? I see none, gentlemen.
Adopted conference report.
He moves adoption. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 121 yeas, 0 nays, the conference report is adopted. Anything further, gentlemen, at this time?
Hallelujah. Education. Yields the
Outstanding
floor.
work. Thank you, gentlemen. Gentleman from Warren, Mr. Denton, for what purpose?
Introduction out of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. You're recognized.
Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen, this is my pleasure to introduce the doctor of the day, Ms. Brianna Hurd Pino. She's specialty is family medicine. She has a clinic at Mission Primary Care Clinic in Vicksburg, Baptist Yazoo Emergency Department. So please, ladies and gentlemen, make her feel welcome.
Welcome, lady.
And Mr. Speaker, also, I do this all the time, I forget these folks. This is on behalf of myself, Representative Ford, and Representative Harness.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Doc, for being with us today. Servant, we appreciate you very much. Gentleman from Oktibbeha, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to introduce in our North Gallery the former police chief in Starkville, Mr. Frank Nichols, the first African American that we ever had to do that work, and also the Tubbs family. Would you please stand? These are all great people, hard-working folks back home in Starkville. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Chief. Good to have you here. All right, I believe that moves us down to Judd B. Gentleman from Grenada, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Call up item number 7, Senate Bill number 2314.
All right, you're recognized to explain that report.
I recognize a junior gentleman from Harrison County to explain the conference.
Junior gentleman from Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 2314, some of the changes here, cleanup language going from the Department of Public Services to the Department of Public Safety. This is going to require background checks for instructors that instruct the driver's education course. This also strengthens our Driver Privacy Protection Act. We've had some third-party vendors that are able to obtain that information and then sell it, so this is to protect our citizens. Also, there was a change in here to notify through mobile ID about license being suspended or expired. And this is also going to require, if an officer requests a driver's license or identification, that it can be handed over for inspection. Mr. Speaker, that's my explanation of the report.
Questions on the report? Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman Yield.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, are we allowed to use our driver's license on our mobile devices now?
There is a program where you can have your driver's license or ID through a mobile device, yes, through DPS.
All right, so DPS does have, is it an additional charge for that?
Let me check on that. No additional charge, you just download the app.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I see no further questions, gentlemen.
Move to adoption.
Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote no. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 118 yeas, 0 nays, the report is adopted. Insurance. Gentleman from Prentice, Chairman of Insurance, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to go to the report on item number 8, Senate Bill 2409, called up.
Yes, sir. You're recognized for that report.
Mr. Speaker, if I may, I'd like to ask all the delegation from the coast to raise your hand. I want you to look around the room in here, folks. These people are glad to see this bill. Now then, I want you to look around or shake your partner's hand sitting next to you there. You're going to benefit from this plan now, because this is a statewide now, and it's something that's going to be beneficial to every citizen of the state of Mississippi, and one of the most important bills that we'll see this year. So this right here will help people fortify their homes. It's over 30 to 40 years old, and retrofit them against hail and any other damages they might get to their houses that hasn't been covered up to this time. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to recognize the gentleman from Warren to explain the report.
Gentleman from Warren is recognized to explain the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, I do have a consent request. I need to amend on line 34 by inserting immediately after the word tornado, comma, the word hail followed by a comma.
All right. Gentleman's requesting unanimous consent to add the word hail, as I understand it.
Yes, sir.
H-A-I-L, hail. Is that the only change, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there objection to that addition? Hearing none, we'll follow that procedure, gentlemen. You're recognized for further explanation of the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we made 3 big changes to the conference report. We made it subject to appropriation each year. We also added hell as a covered risk in the actual definitions. We did an advisory council. It's going to be made up of 3 members of the Senate, 3 members of the House, executive director of the wind pool, and those are the changes to the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Questions on the report? I recognize the gentleman from Jackson here on the front row.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, me and you go way back, right?
A couple years now.
We've taken on some big issues, right?
A few of them, yes,
This was a pretty big issue.
It was.
And I want to thank you and commend you on behalf of the Coast delegation for what you've done. It was a give and take, correct?
Yes, sir.
It was a statewide program. This similar language has been passed in Alabama, right?
Yes, sir.
It's very successful.
It is.
About a 20, maybe to 35% reduction in premiums.
Yes, sir.
Same case in Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
A little bit less in insurance premium reduction.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Thank you again.
All right. I see no further questions, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 121 yeas, 0 nays, the report is adopted. Public health, he passes. Judd B, he passes. Judd A, he's back like he never left. Gentleman from Choctaw, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, item number 12, Senate Bill 2828 is a conference report on...
I'm sorry, gentlemen, are we on item 11 with Judd A?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on item 11, 2747, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. You're recognized for item 11, 2747, to explain the conference report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the foreign third-party litigating act that we passed earlier in the session. We filed a conference report, and we had left out we had foreign entity, but we didn't have foreign entity of concern. So upon review of the conference report, we came back. What this does is prevent someone that's a foreign nation or a foreign entity of concern that's listed on the federal government, separate different things, that they cannot come in and fund these types of negative litigations or judgments without disclosures to the Attorney General. And that's a basic summary of the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Questions on the report? I see none, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 111 yeas, 6 nays, the report's adopted. Next item, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next item is Senate Bill 2848. As this body may remember or recall, that we had all of the towing...
Right. Hold on, gentlemen. We got to get unanimous consent to skip over item 12. Does anyone object to the gentleman advancing to item 13, Senate Bill 2848? Hearing none, we'll follow that procedure. You're recognized, gentlemen, for your next item.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 2848 is the towing bill that we've had from earlier this session. I brought all the towing code section where we could try to work out some agreement. The last time we debated this in the body, we had some issues, and a lot of people were concerned about tows that were happening across the state, and they didn't know why they got their automobile towed. I know Starkville, Oxford, and some of the other towns had to enact some ordinances with regard to this. And so what we did is we tried to clear up some of those sections. We clarify on lines 13 through 28 that only the owner of the vehicle, a law enforcement officer, or a real property owner We also included the words or designee. That would be, include an apartment complex or someone like that. But what they're required to do is keep some information with regard to who requested that tow. So what we've been finding out is their car would get towed, and then nobody knew who requested the tow or whether it was a legitimate tow. And so what we did is require them to fill out some basic information, and these tow companies would keep that information. The present statute said they had 5 days to notify. We moved that down to 2 due to the charges that were being implemented on some storage and some other matters. We're also going to require a third-party vendor to be used by that has to be approved by DOR. And what happens is when this individual's automobile is towed, then it automatically generates the letters that the towing companies were supposed to be sending. And by the way, I believe that most of our towing companies were doing this, but we had a couple of bad actors that, allegedly were not sending these notices, and then you would have all these storage fees that were racking up. And so what this is going to do is automatically send certified mail to the owner of the automobile. It's also going to send it to any lien holder. We're also going to require that this information from this third-party vendor be published on a website that's publicly accessible and maintainable, retaining all the information regarding the tow, anyone that is claiming some type of lien on it. That will be, and it's got to be bonded with $1 million. We've got several things. You'll see on line 106 through about 130, we outline a lot of information that's got to be provided. They've got to check the National Motor Vehicle Title information, assist owner and lien holder, generate electronic notices. All of this will be done by the third-party vendor. The towing company will not have to do it. They just have to put that in there. A lot of lien holders can subscribe, or owners of property can subscribe to this cert, so they'll automatically know if their automobile gets towed. That way they can either try to reduce some of the storage charges that are moving forward going from there. We also address some of the, we also shortened the time down that they have to contact the owner, lien holder. It was 10 days. We're going to move it down to 7. All of this is going to be automatically generated. As soon as that information is put into the system, it's going to generate the proper notices. That way we know that everybody has gotten proper notification, and DOR has the right to reject or get out of this if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. With regard to abandoned vehicles, we're going to do the same thing with regard to abandoned vehicles. What we have found out is we have some abandoned vehicles and we couldn't get rid of the lien on the vehicle, and basically what we do, we got a third-party vendor. Once they have this declared worthless, that the third-party vendor is going to automatically send those out by certified mail, and it will be 30 days from certified mail upon receipt of that certified mail. So the owner will have to have a receipt of that certified mail. And if they don't respond to it in due time, then that's what it will do. We're also going to provide an exemption on the on that abandonment part for franchise motor vehicle dealers, because we don't seem to be having any issues with regard to them, because most of the automobiles that are brought into there are being serviced at the franchise dealership. So that's a short but long explanation of the bill. I'll be glad to take any questions.
Questions on the conference report? Gentleman from Neshoba, Mr. Bounds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would gentlemen yield?
Certainly.
Real quick question, gentlemen. Just want to be sure. So, and it sounds like, I just want to be sure we're not putting any additional regulatory burden on our towing companies. It sounds like it's going to make it easier on them.
I think it's going to make it easier. I mean, any costs that are associated with this will be added on to the tow. Okay, and so what they're going to do is basically just input this information in there, and this third-party vendor is going to automatically generate it. They don't have to go out there. They used to have to send registered mail and some of the other stuff. This is just going to guarantee that once that, they'll have their storage and they can add those legitimate fees.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, you're welcome.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, gentlemen. You.
Certainly, gentlemen.
Man, great work on this piece of legislation. You mentioned about the receipt, the mail receipt. Does that come from the third-party vendor?
It does. Okay. All of the certified mail, everything is going to be done by the third-party vendor. So when if the person that tows the automobile or does something does not put this information in, he's not going to have right to any type of storage or towage fees. He's got to comply with the statute. And so, and when it comes to that, we're just trying to streamline the process to make sure owners and lien holders get notified.
No, I'm with you. I've had a couple of issues with it, so I'm very familiar.
I'm with you on that too.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, thank you.
I see no further questions, gentlemen.
I move final passage, Mr.
He
Speaker.
moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 120 yeas, 0 nays, the report is adopted. Next item, gentlemen.
Judge yields the floor.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Gentleman from Lee, Chairman of Banking, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to bring up item number 12, Senate Bill 2828.
All right, you're recognized to explain the report.
I'd like to recognize the gentleman from Covington to handle the report.
Gentleman from Covington is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The conference report is very similar to what was passed by the House last time. It includes the exemptions for if anyone's able to show government-issued ID. The funding, we had the funding go into the HEROES Fund. In negotiations with the Senate, we have half go into the HEROES Fund and half go into the general fund. And that is an explanation of the conference report. I'll yield for questions.
Questions on the report? I see none, gentlemen.
Move adoption.
He moves adoption. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. In favor of the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 99 yeas, 16 nays, the report is adopted. I believe that concludes our work on the general calendar. Concurrence, non-concurrence. Gentleman from Wayne, Chairman of Local and Private.
Thank you. I'd like to go to item 1, House Bill 4110, and move to concur.
Gentleman's motion is to concur on House Bill 4110. You are recognized, gentlemen, to explain the changes.
The only changes to this one was a typo. There was inadvertently the word country, and it should have been county. And they also put in there a provision that the county must deposit at least 80% of the proceeds into this fund.
Questions? I see none, gentlemen.
Move to adopt.
He moves adoption. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Favor of the report. Favor of the motion, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 120 yeas, 1 nay, concurrence motion carries. Motion to reconsider calendar. Gentleman from Grenada.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to call up item number 3, House Bill 1142, and move to reconsider the vote by which it passed.
All right. Gentleman's motion on item 3, House Bill 1142, is to reconsider the vote. All those in favor of the gentleman's motion indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The report's back before us, gentlemen.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I have a request for unanimous consent of the chamber to to amend the bill by deleting lines 82 through 113 and renumber the sections accordingly.
All right. Questions? Lady from Hines, Ms. Yates.
Thank you. Will the gentleman yield?
Certainly.
What are the 30 lines that we're deleting, out of curiosity?
It's 82 through 13, the language whereby the section included the inspection of the elevators.
Thank you.
All right. I hear no objections. We will proceed in that matter with those unanimous consent changes, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Anything further?
Nothing further, and ask that the matter be placed before the chamber. Final passage.
All right. He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the report, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 118 yeas, 0 nays, the report is adopted. Anything further on the motion to reconsider, calendar? Lady from Pontotoc, Ms.
Introduction out of order.
Yes, ma'am, you're recognized.
If you'll look in the South Gallery and help me honor and recognize former District 15 State Representative who was here from 2000 to 2007, Mr. Pat Montgomery. Stand up for us.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Good to have you, sir. You know you're welcome on the floor, but you know if you come down here, you get it all over you, you know. I'm sure it was different when you were here. But good to see you and good to have you here. All right, anything further on motion to reconsider, calendar? Gentleman from Choctaw, Mr. Hood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Item number 4, Senate Bill 2114, I move to table.
Those opposed have 5 minutes. Gentleman's motion is to table. Those opposed have 5 minutes. I see no one seeking recognition. If you favor the gentleman's motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Gentleman from Choctaw.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Item number 5, Senate Bill 2322, move to table.
Those opposed have 5 minutes. I see no one seeking recognition. If you favor the gentleman's motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. All right, I recognize the chairman of rules, gentleman from Rankin. I believe we've got a special guest in the gallery as well as some rules resolutions. Gentlemen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, in the North Gallery, along with Representative Chet Taylor, we have a resolution that we are recognizing and commending the Tammy Nichols TV show as a program that celebrates 15 years of television ministry and community impact. So let's all give them a big round of applause.
Congratulations, lady. It's great to have you here at your capital. You're recognized, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to go to the rules calendar, and I would call up items 2 through 17 in a block vote.
All right, I'll give the members a chance to look at those House resolutions, items 2 through 17. See if anyone wishes to have any set aside. Gentleman from Adams, Mr. Johnson. Passes. Gentleman from Grenada, concerning the rules.
Mr. Speaker, item number 13, I would ask that the entire chamber be added as number 13.
All right. Item 13, gentleman's request is the entire chamber be added as co-authors. If you wish to not be included, please go by the clerk's office and have them remove your name. Gentleman from Adams, Mr. Johnson.
But I'm voting against it. I don't like it. He wanted this.
Gentleman asks that item number 17 be set aside. All right, I see no other member seeking recognition.
Okay, final passage.
These will be items 2 through 17, 2 through 16, excuse me. These are all House resolutions. If you favor the resolutions, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Next item, gentlemen.
Next item I'd like to call up is item 17, HR 169.
All right, you're recognized to explain the resolution.
That is my explanation.
We need an explanation. Members are asking for an explanation of item 17.
This is pertaining to the city of Jackson. It just declares that the city property be sold and leased for the benefit of creating value, and I don't have the rest of it. That's what I got.
Lady from Lincoln, Ms. Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm just a little confused. That's a resolution
Well,
and not
it-
legislation, maybe?
Well, it goes into further, it's promoting the city of Jackson. I don't have the rest of it in front of me. I didn't know it was going to be questioned.
We'll be back later today.
I'll get it.
We'll be back later today if you want to just set it aside.
Yeah,
for
we'll
now.
just-
Or not, whatever, it's up to y'all.
I just don't understand what we're voting on.
Yeah, we'll just set that one aside.
All right, anything further, gentlemen?
I do have a few SCRs. I know we had a new one that I just did, so I think we need to, Madam Clerk may need to read the report on
All right,
that one.
I believe we have a report in addition to the ones you see on your calendar for today. Madam Clerk, you're recognized.
Report of Committee on Rules, SCR number 546, recognized City of Greenville as a national model for innovative, coordinated public safety strategies. Title sufficient do be adopted.
You're recognized, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to call up item 18 through 27, but also add that one that she just mentioned, which is SCR 546, and I'll call those up in block.
Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Bailey.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Will you set aside number 18?
All right. Anyone else wish to set one aside?
Okay.
I see no one else seeking recognition.
Okay.
We will...
Final passage.
We will proceed with the block vote, and that will be items 19 through 27 on the calendar that's in front of you, and the supplemental calendar had the one item. What was that SCR, gentlemen?
The one where, the new one is SCR 546.
All right. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the resolutions, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 121 yeas, 0 nays, the resolutions are adopted.
Okay, the last one I'm going to call up is item 18, SCR 529.
All right? You're recognized for that resolution.
That's my explanation.
Questions on the resolution? I see none, gentlemen.
Final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the resolution, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 82 yeas, 1 nay, the resolution is adopted. General calendar. Gentleman from Pike.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Pike, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I'd like to take up items 3 through 7 in a block.
All right, I'll give the members a quick second to look at those items items 3 through 7 on the general calendar. Those are all suffrage bills. Anyone wish to have any set aside? All right, I see no one seeking recognition. Gentleman calls those bills up in block, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read a third time, placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the bills if there is any further explanation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Same thing applies to these suffrage bills that has applied to the rest of them. That's a brief explanation of the bills.
All right. Questions on the bills, on any of these bills? Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. McKnight.
Gentleman yield.
Yes.
Are these the 5 we took up yesterday?
These are the same 5 we took up yesterday in committee.
Thank you.
I see no further questions, gentlemen.
I move for final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bills, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 97 yeas, 9 nays, the bills pass. Local and private passes. Gentleman from Adams, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. At the proper time, I'd like to hold a bill on a motion to reconsider.
All right, you're recognized for that.
Item number 2 on in-conference general bills, House Bill 1224. I'd like to hold that on a motion to reconsider.
Thank you, gentlemen. Please notify the chairman. Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On today's conference report in general bills, item number 12, Senate Bill 2828, I want to change my vote from yea to nay.
All right. Is there objection to changing the gentleman's vote? Hearing none, we will do that, gentlemen. Lady from Jones, Ms. Scott.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask unanimous consent of the House if we could go to the in-conference general bills calendar. Item number 7, Senate Bill number 2314. I'd like to ask to have my vote changed from present to no.
All right. Is there objection? Change the lady's vote. All right. I see no one else seeking recognition. We are going to recess for lunch and come back at 2 o'clock as we check things on the other end of the building and see where we are. Gentleman from Bolivar, Mr. Sanders.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Also today, on today's calendar, House Bill 1224 on page 2, in conference general bills. I'd like to have my vote recorded as being yea instead of no. And also 1330 from not voting.
One second, Mr. Sanders. On item 2, you want to be recorded as a yes?
Yes.
All right.
And on 1330, House Bill 1330, I'd like to be recorded. I didn't vote.
You'd like to be recorded as a?
Nay.
As a yes. All right. Record the gentleman's vote. Gentleman from Rankin, Mr. Powell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. They just walked in the North Gallery. I'd like to recognize our Hartfield Academy Exchange Program. If y'all would stand up.
Welcome, y'all. Good to have y'all here today at the Capitol. Gentleman from Pike, Mr. Porter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On those suffrage bills, I'd like to request immediate release.
All right, gentlemen request immediate release on those general bills we just passed, all suffrage bills. Is there objection? Hearing none, we'll follow that procedure, gentlemen. All right, any further announcements at this time? I recognize the gentleman from Rankin for the motion.
I move that the House stand in recess until 2 p.m.
Gentleman's motion is the House stand in recess until 2 p.m. If you favor that motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. House stand in recess till 2 p.m.
Do I need to table that motion? Or,
Yes.
Okay.
It may need to be intervening business. Hold on a minute.
You have to take up business. Take care of it. 1 year we have to go in there and pass a resolution.
All right, gentleman from Lee, the proper motion, now that it's been held on a motion to reconsider, is actually to reconsider the vote and get it back before the House, not recommit. So we need a motion on which item exactly?
Item number 12, Senate Bill 2828. I'd like to reconsider the vote which was taken.
All right. Gentleman's motion is to reconsider the vote. If you favor the gentleman's motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The conference report is back before us, gentlemen, on 2828.
Yes, sir. Now, I would like to move to recommit this.
Gentleman's motion is to recommit on Senate Bill 2828. If you favor the gentleman's motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Gentleman from Tate, Mr. Lamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would ask that we go to the in-conference Ways and Means calendar and address House Bill 1761, which is item 1, and I'd move to recommit.
All right. The gentleman's motion is to recommit on item 1, House Bill 1761. If you favor the gentleman's motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Sam's going. Gentleman from Union. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On a bill that we passed yesterday, I'd like to reconsider the vote by which House Bill 1772 passed.
All right. Gentleman's motion is to reconsider the vote by which House Bill 1772 passed yesterday. You want to tell the body what that bill is, gentlemen, since it's not on their calendar and before?
It's the repealer.
I see lots of faces looking up here about where we're going.
Yes, sir. This bill was the repealer for the Department of Human Services,
which, as I understand, was recommitted in the Senate today.
It was recommitted today by the Senate. Yes, sir.
So we need to recommit our conference. All right. Gentleman's motion is to recommit on 1772. If you favor the motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Any other chairman have any other item for today? Okay, I think that concludes our business for the day. I'm sorry for the confusion. We're being sure the DHS repealer bill threw us a little curve, but we're good, gentlemen from Union, on that. And the gentleman from Lee has handled his recommit on the Senate Bill 2828. Announcements by the clerk's office? We have no announcements. Announcements by the members before we adjourn for the day. Gentleman from Prentice, Mr. Arnold.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to adjourn in memory. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to adjourn in memory.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One of the greatest men I've ever known, Arthur Douglas Jumper from Boonville, Mississippi. He passed away. He was very instrumental in bringing Caterpillar to the state of Mississippi, and he helped to develop many projects in Corinth and the Boonville area, and he'll certainly be missed. Thank you.
He's doing an adjourn in memory. Please give him the due respect while he advances his adjourn in memory. Thank you. You're recognized, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Arthur Douglas Jumper, a great man in our community, and a strong leader.
He's been an entrepreneur. He owned S&J Steel Builders and concrete company there. He also played an instrumental role in bringing Caterpillar to the state of Mississippi. In fact, he built a warehouse up there for him and leased it back to him at about $29 million. And he was a strong man in our community and made a lot of great efforts to move Mississippi forward. He will be missed.
Thank you, gentlemen. We join you in that adjournment. Gentleman from Rankin, Mr. Yancey.
Adjourn in memory.
Yes, sir.
Today I'd like for the House to adjourn in memory of a really wonderful, fantastic individual, Mr. Reed Nunnally. Reed was the son of the late Congressman Allen Nunnally and died of the same brain tumor that Allen had. He leaves behind a wife, Kimberly, who has been wonderful through his illness, and 4 children. He was a lawyer at Butler Snow prior to his illness, and he was a wonderful Christian, wonderful husband and father, and a cousin to Clark Wise. But today I'd like for us to adjourn in memory of Mr. Reed Nunnally.
Thank you, gentlemen. We will certainly do that. Gentleman from Oktibbeha, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like unanimous consent to change my vote on House 1224 from yea to no.
Is there objection? Change the gentleman's vote. Gentleman from Union, Mr. Creekmore.
Announcement.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure you've all found your tomato plant, signifying we're close to the end and it's also time to go home. But also want to thank the Hospital Association for these plants as a powerful reminder of what we do here. We prepare the soil, we plant the seeds, and we trust the process. This session, I believe we planted good seeds for the people of Mississippi. May God bless those seeds and our harvest be bountiful for the state of Mississippi. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentleman from Pearl River, Mr. Owen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to request unanimous consent to change my vote on yesterday's calendar, House Bill 1662, from yes to no.
All right. Is there objection? Is there serious objection? Change the gentleman's vote. Gentleman from Newton, Mr. Rushing.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, thank you. I would like the House to help me adjourn in memory of Miss Wendy Cook C. Culpepper, passed away unexpectedly yesterday due to complications from surgery at a young age of 56, I believe. But we'd like to adjourn in memory of her, please.
Thank you, gentlemen. Lady from Hines, Ms. Yates.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to point out to all the members that there is something that was left on your desk over lunch from TikTok concerning various ways that we can keep our kids safe online. Just pointing that out since we passed the bill earlier today, addressing that issue, and as a parent, I found it to be useful.
Thank you, lady. Gentleman from Adams, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I only rose because the gentleman from the public health chairman said something about good seeds of tomato plants. Something is wrong with mine. I don't know if that's on purpose or they're trying to say something about the seeds. Well, not keep it. I'm going to take it as a challenge. I'm going to work on mine. I'm good. Thank you.
I'd give you mine, gentlemen, but it's already given away. All right, I don't see any further announcements. I will recognize the gentleman. Look, before I do that, let me say this. If you've got conference reports that have been recommitted and you intend to take those up tomorrow, you probably ought to be getting with council. Get those filed as early as possible so that they can get those changes done so that we're ready tomorrow to go. Gentleman from Rankin, I recognize you for the motion.
I move that the House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow and ask that the journal remain open until the last conference report is filed.
Gentleman's motion is the House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow and the journal will remain open until the last conference report is filed. All in favor of the gentleman's motion indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow and the journal will remain open until the last conference report is filed.